Hi, my name is Meryl Fink. I am Alyssa's sister, younger sister. Many of you know Alyssa as the accomplished researcher, professor, and academician that she is today. But I am here to give you a glimpse of Alyssa's early years. Alyssa was born in Long Island Jewish Hospital in Queens, New York, to Leon and Leona Goodman. A year later, I came on the scene, and from then on, made Alyssa's life oh so much more fun. Until Alyssa was 6, we lived in Briarwood, Queens. After that, we moved to Searingtown, Long Island, where we lived until we both went off to college. Alyssa and I attended Herrick's High School on Long Island. Since I was just 1 year younger, I followed Alyssa in most of our classes. I don't think I have to explain to this group just how difficult it was to follow so closely in Alyssa's footsteps. Suffice it to say, I chose a career as a lawyer, mostly because there would not be much math involved. I can verify that Alyssa's interest in astronomy started at a very young age. I still recall going with her and my dad to Odd Lot Trading Company down in the financial district of Manhattan to buy her first telescope. She was probably about 10 or 11, and I remember her getting home and setting up in our backyard that very night. She was so very excited. Some of you may have experienced Alyssa's competitive side. Well, I can tell you that started at an early age as well. When she was around 12, we went to a summer sleepaway camp. For the first summer, Alyssa had a good time. But when she went back for the second year, she wanted to keep honing her tennis game. But all her bunkmates wanted to do was lounge in the sun and do their hair. That was the last summer for Alyssa. I kept it up for 5 summers. You may all think of Alyssa as embracing, as well as inventing, the latest and greatest technological innovations. Just ask her about her car. But I bet you don't know that when Alyssa was working towards her PhD at Harvard, and I was a newly minted corporate lawyer, I left my job for a few days to come to Boston to help finish a paper that Alyssa was working on. You see, she had badly twisted her ankle and had a lot of trouble managing steps. Why should that affect her paper, you may ask? Well, this was back in the good old analog days, and Alyssa needed to cut and paste a number of figures for her paper. The copy machine was on another floor from her office, so I came to bring the paper she needed back and forth to the copy machine. And that is how science was done. Gee, you think I should have had a credit on that paper? I hope you have enjoyed this brief journey through Alyssa's early years. I have many more stories I can share if you ask nicely. Happy birthday, older sister.
For a lot of people here. I mean, it's extra true for me because you're my mom, but I think you've been in that mentor role for so many people here, and I'm so lucky that I've gotten that for so long and I didn't even have to get into grad school to get it. I love you so much, Mom. See you soon. Bye.
Felicidades, Alyssa.
Happy birthday, Alyssa. Must be great to have formed into a star.
Hi, Alyssa. Bob Williams here. I want to add my voice to those who congratulate you on your birthday celebration. All of us do have those, of course, but what we don't all have is the vision and creativity and boundless energy that you have that has allowed you to achieve so much. The variety of things that you have engaged in is impressive, whether making unique observations that represent discovery, such as your work on magnetic fields and dense cores of dark clouds, or your focus on taking ideas like visualization and using them in ways that make science more understandable to the broader community. There's a lot of stock placed these days on one's H-index. Justifiable, I guess, but I regard a better measure of one's career accomplishments be the number of people they motivate and inspire. And you are at the top rank for that. And what is especially important, I think, is your current position as Director of Science at Radcliffe. While you are continuing to do science, you're in a leadership position where you enable others to pursue their own career goals. I expect that trajectory to continue, and I certainly hope that your work on how best to make use of large data sets continues to expand, as certainly does the Worldwide Telescope. One of your gifts is your ability to communicate. In the era of huge data that inundate all of us, I certainly wish you continued success in your efforts to make it available and understandable to all. As always, since you are such an interesting conversationalist, I look forward to the next time our paths cross. And with that, very best wishes.
Okay, so definitely the Interstellar Institute in Orsay, France, for many conferences and discussions over dinner over the years, for several iterations of that meeting, and also Alyssa's lab at the CFA. And I particularly remember all of the virtual reality and how you would have to try to point to things or zoom in using your hands and gesturing, which I could never quite figure out, but it was a lot of fun.
Hey Alyssa, and welcome from December 1st, 1951 here in Wisconsin. So I just wanted to wish you happy birthday and congratulations on having so many wonderful friends and colleagues who want to celebrate with you. So that's it. See you soon.
Alyssa is living proof that with enough glue, you can stick anything in the galaxy together.
Alyssa's superpower is assembling great teams to work on projects that seem impossibly hard when first conceived. Part of that superpower is using her infectious energy to convince you to work on something when you almost certainly don't have the time.
I would call Alyssa a bright, shining light in the world of astronomy. Not just because of her many and amazingly varied contributions, but also because whenever she even looks at astronomy software, somehow the bugs all scurry out from their hiding places.
Hi Alyssa, I hope you're enjoying seeing the future. I guess from our perspective as graduate students in the dim and distant past, this actually is the future. Congratulations on the part that you've played in shaping it, and I hope I get to see you again very soon.
Hi Alyssa, congratulations on your many years of showing us the structure of interstellar clouds, star formation, and the local Milky Way. I learned a lot from you and look forward to much more. I'm sorry I can't be there now. Hope you have a great meeting. Bye-bye.
Hi, Alyssa. I just wanted to say thank you for being so welcoming to people coming into your group, and I really look forward to working together on our projects and future ones in the coming years. Congratulations, and I think it'll be a fantastic conference.
Happy birthday, Alyssa. I know it says I just have only a minute to talk, and I could spend hours recounting all the amazing conversations that we've had over the years, all the great content and things that we've created for Prediction X. But I'll just say happy birthday, and predict you're going to have a great one.
Alyssa's superpower is connecting people. I've learned to listen very closely whenever Alyssa says, "Do you know who you should meet?" When I look back at my career, so many of the most interesting, exciting things I've done have started with Alyssa saying exactly those words. So Alyssa, thank you so much for bringing people together and for being who you are.
Hi Alyssa, I'm standing in front of the Haus der Astronomie, your second home here in Heidelberg. This provides a great opportunity to thank you for the many years of collaboration. It must have been in early summer, maybe 10 years ago, that we were sitting in a small Italian restaurant here in Heidelberg and agreed to have a biannual meeting in the field of star formation. Since then, we visited each other either in Harvard or here in Heidelberg and established very fruitful scientific collaborations. It's also a great opportunity to thank you for the many contributions to our field. The study of molecular cores, molecular filaments in the galaxy, you call them bones, and more recently, the 3D structure of the Milky Way. Unfortunately, I have to miss your meeting because I'm organizing an Origins of Life meeting in Heidelberg in the same week, but I'm very sure that the workshop will be both productive but also informative for everybody attending. I wish you wonderful days at the East Coast, and I hope to see you soon again in Heidelberg. Thank you for everything.
Something I have always admired about Alyssa is her ability to make things happen. She has this gift for bringing together different people to make a project, to make an idea into a reality, and then sharing that in a really clear and expressive and inspiring way.
To me, Alyssa has always been a larger-than-life figure, and depending on the size of the screen you're using, I may temporarily be one as well. This is not the only way I have followed Alyssa's example, and in fact, for the first decade of my career, she might have thought I was following her around. When Alyssa was a graduate student at Harvard, I was an undergraduate at Harvard. When Alyssa was a postdoc at Berkeley, I was a graduate student at Berkeley. When Alyssa was a professor back at Harvard, I was a postdoc at Harvard. I finally broke free in terms of my CV in 1996, but it has remained a constant pleasure and source of stimulation to meet and catch up with Alyssa on the latest scientific issues as well as personally since that time. Theory and observation are a dance, sometimes with one partner leading, sometimes the other, and I've always been a huge fan of Alyssa's fancy footwork. Well, unfortunately, I can't be there in person for this wonderful event. I am delighted to send my best wishes and to share here on the screen what I think is the oldest movie of a simulation I have on my hard drive, so this should bring us all back. I'll also add that while I didn't predict all of the specifics of this festschrift, I definitely knew it was coming, and that a collective toast to Alyssa would certainly be in order. So congratulations, Alyssa, and very best wishes.
I remember walking with Alyssa once to a conference dinner or something in full-on Boston traffic. Right before we crossed a road, there was a fender bender just off to one side and a pedestrian shouting obscenities at a driver on the other side. I was in fear for my life the whole time, but right in the middle of the road, Alyssa just sort of launched into, "So what'd you think of my idea from the last session?" And I have to say, I really admire that ability to come back to her key topic, no matter what is happening around her or with her.
Ciao Alyssa, what a pleasure to celebrate you. I cannot believe that the first time I met you was exactly 30 years ago. I will need the 30 more years to catch up with you and learn how to make nice figures for my paper. Anyway, I wish you all the best, a future full of joy, excitement, and happiness. Mwah.
Happy birthday, Alyssa. In Jewish tradition, it is customary to wish a person on a birthday, may you live until 120 years, but which in your case means that you are just in the middle of your life. But given your joy and curiosity, we very much wish you to live an order of magnitude longer. And we love you the way you are. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so 3 things I love about Alyssa. First of all, her sense of adventure, particularly with regards to science, and her ability also to visualize and connect things in 3D, and which I think is truly impressive. And third, and of course, her deep respect for the study of interstellar magnetic fields.
Many years ago, when the CFA logo still looked like this, Alyssa spent about an hour with me in my office teaching me how to make beautiful magnetic field rice grains in my keynote presentations. And since then, now we're 7 years later, and I'm learning about Altair and bokeh and best plotting principles and hearing about Edward Tufte. Alyssa taught me all that years ago. Moral of the story, Alyssa's ahead of her time. Listen to Alyssa.
Dear Alyssa, we've collaborated since the late 1990s when our girls were very small, but you nevertheless served on the AAS Publications Board. This was soon after our journals were some of the first to go online. Somewhat more recently, you spent a whole year on a presidentially appointed Journals Futures Task Force, pushing the proverbial envelopes to pave the way for major editorial restructuring and other innovations in 2015. It's been fun for me to help out in small ways with the Worldwide Telescope and learn so much from you along the way. Your generosity and boundless imagination have meant a lot to me over the years. I'm truly sorry to miss your conference, but look forward to the many insights that will no doubt come out of it. Many thanks and kudos to you, my friend.
Dear Alyssa, I wanted to wish you a very happy birthday on this significant milestone, and thank you for everything you do to advance science education using visualizations like Worldwide Telescope through the Ambassadors Program, and now GLUE through Cosmic Data Stories. I feel so lucky to have gotten the chance to work with you in this area for the last 12 and a half years, and I'm so grateful to you for making this happen. Cheers to you.
Hello, dear Alyssa. I'm still unsure if I'm going to be able to be there next month to celebrate you, and so I'm sending you this video to wish you well. And I wanted to, you know this already, but a lot of my career as an entrepreneur and now working at a publisher were shaped during my years at Harvard working with you, and the part that really ended up really being the thread, the thing that ended up making my career possible was the fact that all the work that we did together, rethinking the world of publishing, rethinking what scientific communication could look like, and really shaping and paving the way for the article of the future. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for your work and for your visionary approach to looking at science and astronomy. And last but not least, thank you so much for inspiring me in being a better scientist and being a better entrepreneur, and providing an innovative and truly visionary approach and context to the work I do. Thank you so much, and I hope to be there in person when this message is being shown. Ciao.
Happy birthday, Alyssa, and congratulations on an awesome career. I wish I could be there to celebrate with you all in person, but I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful time.
Hi, Alyssa. Congratulations on your wonderful career so far, and happy birthday for July as well. Thanks for being such a great mentor here at Harvard, and cheers.
Hi Alyssa, happy birthday from this iconic place in Barcelona. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for all your support through the years. And since we are celebrating your scientific career, let me say that one of the brightest moments of your scientific career was certainly the day when you thought of telling Amanda that I was smart enough for her to take me seriously. Maybe that didn't give you many citations, apart from this one, but it gave me two wonderful children, hence the Holy Family theme in the background. So, thank you again, and have a happy birthday from both me and Amanda, and I hope to see you in person soon and do some science together again. Bye-bye.
Hi, Alyssa. You were my first manager in a professional capacity about 15 years ago. I feel very fortunate to have learned so much from you, and that experience continues to positively impact my life every single day. The top three things that come to my mind are your unlimited curiosity, your ability to convey complex subjects with such ease, and your passion for visualizing data in the most effective way possible. It's too bad that I am unable to join you during this special celebration, so let me wish you from the Netherlands a very happy 60th birthday.
Hi Alyssa, first of all, happy birthday and congratulations. It seems like only yesterday that we were at the Arecibo Observatory hanging out by the pool in between observing runs, but I guess it's been over 30 years. Anyway, Sandy and I remember fondly your visit to Athens in 1996 to watch the Olympics in Atlanta, and we hope we can all do that again sometime. Anyway, happy birthday, congratulations on a fantastic career, and all the best from Loris and Sandy. Bye.
Hi Alyssa, recording this just a couple of days ahead of your big meeting. I've known you since I was a young student in Joao's group, and I wanted to let you know that I think you are a great role model on how to practice and live science, on how to educate students, and on how to collaborate. It's always such a great joy for me to see you in this team of yours with Catherine and Joao, and I'm very much looking forward to whatever may come out of this fantastic collaboration in the future. See you in a couple of days in, not Boston, Newcastle.
Alyssa, I wish you a very happy birthday. I love working with you and your group. I should say you really made a revolution in the way I see the ISM, as you can guess, from having used to see it in 2 dimensions and now, everything become three-dimensional, as demonstrated in these beautiful examples that you gave me and others as a present, and the Pertau shell and the local bubble and all the other things that we're working on. And hopefully soon enough we'll be able to nail down the entire structure of the interstellar medium, our galaxy, and maybe even other galaxies. Cheers.
Hats off to you, Dr. Alyssa Goodman, our very own veritable doyen of purse capacity. Here's to wishing you all the joys of this momentous occasion. We celebrate your myriad methods of seeing into the bright future that lies ahead. May I proclaim 4 huzzahs in your honor. Huzzah, 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 to the edges of the universe and well beyond. Congratulations.
Hi, Alyssa. When I've moved abroad to the place where I am right now, I didn't know what to expect. But you made me feel at home on the other side of the Atlantic since the first day of my arrival. I did not only gain a lot of knowledge from you, but much more important, you took and you are still taking care of my well-being. You've introduced me into the US culture and showed me the history of Boston and Harvard. I so much enjoy that I know you, and I'm really looking forward to continuing our work together in the future. This said, big thanks for everything you've done for me. I wish you all the very best. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, Alyssa. We're really sorry we can't be with you for your special event. We would have loved to have been there, but as you can see, we're kind of busy on the other side of the world. We've got plenty of things to do as Tara's starting her African leg of the mission microbiomes. Lots of love from Cape Town. You've been a great collaborator while we're at Radcliffe. We miss you very much and we look forward to the next time.
Yes, Alyssa, I miss you a lot. You were a great fellow, and I regret that we cannot be there, and I wish you all the best for today, your wonderful conference, and I hope to see you soon. Ciao.
Bye. Enjoy the stars.
Happy almost birthday, Alyssa. You deserve a celebration, and I am honored to be here to party it up with you. Now, you and I just met in Crete in 2019, which feels like it was just last month and also a lifetime ago. At that conference, you brought me into conversations, you brought me into new collaborations, you were so welcoming, and you treated me as a peer. Now, as a postdoc, that really meant a lot to me. Just this past week, you were in Green Bank, and I think we had an awesome time. Come back anytime, we'll get you up on the telescope, do some more horseback riding around site. But wherever we meet, whether it's in Green Bank or Crete or Cambridge or Portsmouth, I'm looking forward to the new adventures, new collaboration, and new science that we do together. Happy almost birthday.
Alyssa, you have done so much for me. You introduced me to the CFA. Later, you hand-delivered me a job offer to the CFA and then convinced me to accept it. You went on to convert me to the cult of Mac. You hooked me on a string of apps and gadgets. You helped me do amazing things at the Dunlap Institute. You taught me how to be a better scientist, and you introduced me to so many extraordinary people. And through all this, you've been an incredible friend and mentor for more than 20 years. But did you know that we have only ever collaborated once? Do you remember that Chandra proposal on Row Oath that kept getting rejected? Maybe one day. Nevertheless, I am forever grateful for everything you've taught me. Happy birthday, and thank you.
Alyssa is proof that you can be brilliant and always pushing the envelope, always make challenging yourself and others, and yet you can be a generous person, a compassionate person, someone who really cares about the people around them, and you can do those two things successfully. I'm really quite inspired by watching you lead by example, even if you like to say that you don't want to be at the front of everything. And you teach me a lot about how to be a thoughtful academic and scientist in person. I wish I could be there in person to congratulate you on this milestone, and I can't wait to see all the new cool ideas that you have for the future. Happy birthday.
I have known and admired Alyssa for more than 40 years. I have watched her daughter from birth through graduation of college and now a bit beyond. I have enjoyed enormously the wonderful parties that I've attended at her house. I have watched Alyssa's successes pile up nonstop. One was her recent discovery with students and colleagues of the Radcliffe wave. I look forward to observing more of her triumphs, and I am sure there will be many such.
Alyssa, I'm so sorry that I can't be there with you in person, but I wanted to say how much I've admired you over the years. From the very first day I met you in Building D at Harvard till today. Your combination of enthusiasm, generosity, and your willingness to think and step out of the box are traits that should be emulated broadly. My warmest wishes to you, and from the rainy Pacific Northwest, I offer a huge hug, and again, congratulations on your 60th and many, 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 many more.
Alyssa's been an extremely kind, thoughtful, and generous mentor to me for over a decade. At key moments and decision points in my career, I've turned to Alyssa for advice and guidance. Not only did she prompt me with important questions, but she provided external validation that I really needed of the non-academic route I was choosing, and celebrated that with me. In my role as VP of Science Engagement at the Adler Planetarium in Chicago, I strive to do the same for others. Part of Alyssa's legacy is through all of us who are paying it forward. I've also been deeply influenced by Alyssa's eye towards innovation and thinking outside the box. The Adler and museums in general are a rich medium through which to do cool and interesting things at the intersection of learning, technology, visualization, online engagement, and space. Many, many well wishes to you, Alyssa, and to the continued reverberation of your impact across people, spheres, and spaces.
Hi, everybody. I want to express my regrets that I can't be there to celebrate Alyssa. Many years ago, when I arrived at the CFA, I was this young, eager scientist doing this weird thing called chemistry, but I really wanted to do was use molecules and chemistry to do star formation. And at that time, there was this great, vibrant atmosphere, some young people and some not so young people, and of course, one of those was the younger Alyssa Goodman. And here was this colleague who was on the path, that was showing me the way to go, and it really, really helped me. The word is inspiration. So, Alyssa, I will always be grateful for your inspiration. Thank you, and best wishes to you and to everyone from the bottom of my heart. Take care.
Hi Alyssa, here's Andy speaking from the Ringberg Castle. You're in my favorite place. Remember 10 years ago, 2012, at the EPOS meeting, at Ringberg, we introduced Nessie Extended and Optimistic, and we're wondering how Nessie, the long filament, is placed in the Milky Way. And I'm again now here at EPOS 2022 and basically summarized what we have been thinking about and how our understanding has been improving with the Redcliffe wave and all these wonderful, fascinating structures in the Milky Way. Working with you is such an inspiring enterprise, and we miss you here a lot. And I hope that we'll continue our wonderful collaborations, our friendship for many, many more years to come. Have a good time, and I'll see you next week in person. Bye-bye.
Hi, Alyssa. I think that there are too many things that I admire about you that I could simply summarize it, but if I had to narrow it down to just a few, I'd say that one of the things I admire most about you is that you're never afraid to ask the hard questions and to push the limits of our understanding. And when you do that, your approach to science is with such ingenuity and creativity that you've really changed the course of our field, and I'm so inspired by that. I also really admire that you're keenly aware of how to prioritize important things in your life and in your career, and that you're always a fierce supporter and advocate of what you believe in. And I'd like to thank you for believing in me. Without your help in my career, I don't think I would be where I am today. And you've always been an endless source of awe and inspiration. So thank you so much for everything, and happy birthday.
Hi, Alyssa. I hope you're having a fantastic time at the conference so far. I'm so glad we finally get to come together in person again to celebrate your incredible career, all you've accomplished, and the way you've impacted all of our lives too through your work and your friendship. I know for me personally, your mentorship, your guidance, your enthusiasm has been instrumental in my development as both a scientist and a person throughout grad school. And some of my favorite memories have been trips we've taken together, from Heidelberg and the Christmas markets to seeing research on the Dome of the Hayden Planetarium in New York. They've been memories that I'll take with me for a lifetime. And I'm really excited about all the work we got coming up in the future too, from I got my Orion stuff right here, to the climate work we'll be doing this summer, to education. I think there's a lot more in store, and I can't wait to make many more memories with you over the next couple of years. So congrats again, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Well, congratulations, Alyssa, on your big birthday milestone and what is probably about the midway point of your academic career. What I've always admired the most about you is how you so fearlessly and enthusiastically jump into entirely new fields of research and really stir them up. You've certainly done that in the field of galactic structure lately. For example, you've convinced me that everyone's been going along with this Gould belt idea for way too long, and that bones that may be an important component of the Milky Way. But you've yet to convince me, despite years of trying, that this is not a beautiful and effective color palette. And so unless you want to hack into my MATLAB account and delete this color bar, GMCs in my papers are going to be made yellow and red. So I wish you many more years of shaking things up, Alyssa, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Happy birthday.
Hey, Alyssa, congratulations. Happy birthday. I wish I could be there with you. It's been nearly 40 years since we first met in graduate school, and it's been a pleasure being your colleague, your friend, and watching all the wonderful things you do. You've even convinced me that under very special circumstances, visualizations can be valuable. Happy birthday.
Hello, Alyssa. I'm sorry I can't be there at this meeting to celebrate you and
the research you've been a part of over these many, many years. I remember meeting you in Amherst back in the early 90s, and your enthusiasm was catchy, and I caught it along with everybody else who is probably with you at this meeting. I've enjoyed interacting with you over the years. I've learned a lot. I remember you bringing a worksheet for us at a Gordon conference about the properties of dust. I remember you showing us great restaurants in Santa Cruz, and I remember you visiting me in Zurich, and most recently, you and your group solving a major mystery of nearby star forming regions that are part of the Gould's Belt. So I look forward to learning more about how to present data, how to investigate correlations in data, and learn what the data are actually telling us in the future. And I wish you all the best and hope to see you soon. Bye.
Hey Alyssa, enjoy your party. Hope you get a bit of rest before you power on into the next decade.
The thing I've always admired most about Alyssa is just she's a never-ending fountain of just amazing ideas. When I was fortunate to work with her on Prediction X for almost 5 years, there were so many incredible things that we did because she was able to step back, look at the big picture, and then really zero in on, okay, how can we tell the story of prediction? What are the different examples of things that will help people understand our attempts to divine the future? And that creativity and that just kind of drive to learn and share that with people is just really incredible. I'm very fortunate to work with her on things like the Path to Newton, or traveling to London together to just tell the story of how modern science came to be, or burning bones, ancient Chinese oracle bones with Harvard freshman students. All through this, Alyssa's always had a constant thread of wanting to educate and explain difficult concepts to people in really creative and engaging ways. And I'm so fortunate to have gotten to work with her on these projects throughout the year.
Hello, Alyssa. Terry Jones here. I hope everyone is having a good time. For this montage, I thought I would recall when you and I were observing at 14,000 feet in the middle of the Pacific on Mauna Kea using the NASA Infrared Telescope facility. The night was nearly done, and you wanted to print out a plot of the data, but you could not get your computer to talk to the telescope printer. If I remember correctly, you sent the printer file over a very shaky internet, this was the early 90s after all, to Harvard, then sent the file back to the IRTF computer for printing. This plot was probably the first good indication that interstellar dust grains may not be aligned in the denser regions of molecular clouds. Now, this subject, of course, has become something of its own industry over the years, but at the time, 5 a.m. in the morning, with 1/3 less oxygen than at sea level, my reaction was, no way! You were very diplomatic and did not say, way! I wish you all the best, and perhaps we will cross paths again in the near future.
This is Jackie Olds, airing in appreciation of Alyssa Goodman. And I just want to say that I am honored to know her. She just can't help solving everyone else's problems, even when you're supposed to be helping her solve hers. And so there's been many a time where I was somehow stuck, either on my computer or my phone, or just in life. And Alyssa would throw out some incredible morsel of brand new news that was so up to date that it made me feel positively young again. Of course, my hair wasn't quite so white then. It was more brown, so I've had good reason for feeling younger. But anyway, I am in awe of Alyssa. I love her anecdotes and her knowledge and her capacity to be lucid and helpful to practically everybody. And I hope this conference goes marvelously. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. But best of luck with it. And thank you to Alyssa for all her incredible helpfulness to the world.
Hello, Alyssa. Happy birthday. I'm so sorry that I couldn't make it to the meeting this time because I couldn't get a visa. But I think the silver lining here is that I can really tell you how much I appreciate, without being too embarrassed by that. I just want to remind you that, as you might remember, the first few years of my grad school was really tough on me. And you were really the few people who come to me and pick me up at my lowest. So I would not be here today without you. And of course, you also famously mix-matched me with Charlie. In many ways, I feel like you are like my mom. So I'm so sorry to say that. And that is because you are the only person that will speak highly of me in front of people, exactly like my mom would. And even though I might seem embarrassed at times, deep in my heart, I really appreciate that, because I know you try to instill the confidence in me when I still have none. So I'm very looking forward that when I can get back to the US, that we can continue to chat about science and make more things happen. And happy birthday, and see you soon.
Hi, Alyssa. You've been such a wonderful source of scientific and personal inspiration to me for many years. Some of my best conference memories are featuring you. That includes lots of wandering around the streets of Paris, guzzling down crepes or ice cream just in time to make it to the Louvre, or enjoying an extremely windy sushi picnic on the beach in Hawaii. Your brilliance and warmth and good humor are aspirational for me, honestly, and I deeply value both your science and the way that you go about it. I really can't thank you enough for the times that you have picked up the phone to give me some candid conversation, and I so wish that I could be there with you to celebrate, but stuck as I am in California, I will just have to toast you from afar and say thank you for the science that you have contributed, the friends that you've made along the way, and everything else that you will do going forward. Congratulations and cheers.
Space, the final frontier. Here's to the voyages of Alyssa Goodman, her continuing mission to explore new worlds, to seek out new understandings of the universe and new educational horizons, to boldly lead others where no one has gone before. Happy birthday, Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa. I'm really sorry I couldn't be at your special conference. I was going to send you a message in this little vial in the way that the Harvard College Observatory would have sent messages by mail. This one was sent from the Astronomical Observatory of Harvard College, and for 3 cents, it went to the Solar Observatory at Pasadena. It probably was sent by this fellow here, Edward C. Pickering, the director. Maybe from this rotating desk, but that's right behind me here, that you can see really still rotates. I thought about sending a message like that, or I could have gone all hippie on you and sent a message in the style of Harlow Shapley and this Flower Child style from 1967. But it said, here I am on Modern Technology and wishing you all the best. I love working on the prediction project with you and hope we will work on many more projects together in the future. Have a great time at your conference. You deserve to be celebrated, and you're one of the nicest and best people I know. So have fun. Talk to you soon.
Hi, Alyssa.
want to wish you a very happy birthday. I'm sorry that I will not be able to join you at the conference that is being organized for you. So I remember long ago when you were a postdoc at Berkeley, and I really enjoyed interacting with you then, and have been very impressed as your career has blossomed. So recently, of course, you have just made two amazing discoveries. So as far as the bones of the Milky Way, I have no idea where they come from or what they are. As for your more recent work on the local bubble, that I understand a little bit, but there are a lot of mysteries about it. And I can see that you're on the way to making even more discoveries. So most recently, you've joined the Committee on Astronomy and Astrophysics, and I look forward to working with you on that committee over the next year, and hopefully we can reconnect socially as well. So again, I wish you a very happy birthday and good luck for your future. Goodbye.
Privileged enough to call a friend. Despite being so far away from you today, I'm in Sydney, Australia, but I am with you in spirit on your very special day. Alyssa, you impressed me with your academic, scientific, and social intelligence from the very first day I met you at Radcliffe. Through you, I met remarkable people. Some of them I call friends right now. You were always there for me whenever I needed help. Alyssa, you loved your family and friends, and you made sure to always invite them to your house for meals. I was one of these very lucky people to be introduced to your beloved daughter, Abby, to your wonderful family, mom and dad, and also to your lovely sister and her family. I shared meals on very special occasions at your parents' house and at your house. These memories will remain with me forever. Alyssa, your kindness and thoughtfulness will always carry me through my entire life, and I treasure your friendship forever and ever. I only wish you could take a sabbatical, come and visit in Sydney so we can spend more time together and I show you around this amazing, wonderful city that I live in, Sydney, Australia. Love you and enjoy your day. I am with you on this special day. Bye.
Hello, I'm Charles Alcock, as most of you know, and I'm here to talk about Alyssa. But first, let me thank Catherine Zucker for all of her work with a number of colleagues in setting this meeting up. But me personally, I want to thank Catherine for asking me to make these remarks, just as she's asked many of you. I must say that I found this prospect of speaking in this audience about Alyssa daunting. This room is filled with people who know Alyssa very well, who collaborated with Alyssa over the years, who understand her as a brilliant colleague and a terrific friend. And I just wondered what I could add to this discussion. And I concluded there was one area where my knowledge might not be unique, but is probably unusual. I knew Alyssa as an undergraduate. I'm not sure exactly when we met, but certainly no later than 1984, possibly earlier than that. And among other things, Alyssa approached me in that period of time with a view to doing a senior thesis. And I said, that sounds like a great idea. And I thought I'd start making some suggestions. She said, well, I know what I want to work on. I want to work on grain alignment by magnetic fields in the interstellar medium. So I said, well, that sounds good. So I'm sure there was paperwork that we had to do. Alyssa went away and came back periodically to meet with me and told me about her progress. And there always was progress. And then she wrote a senior thesis, which was a fine, really good piece of work. And that led in part to her graduating in the class of 1984. And I must say, sadly, that I don't actually have my copy of Alyssa's thesis. My house and my neighborhood burned to the ground with the Oakland Hills fire in 1991, and it was one of the many casualties in that event. But Alyssa went on, as you know, she went to Harvard, where she was a graduate student in the physics department, I believe. And she maintained her strong interest in the alignment of grains with magnetic fields and the consequences for radiative transfer. And that's manifested in one of the papers from her period as a graduate student. It's optical polarization maps of star-forming regions in Perseus, Taurus, and Ophiuchus. And it's written with Bastien, Myers, and Menard. So I can say that I knew Alyssa when she was getting started, and she looked extraordinarily promising at the time, and that promise has been fulfilled. I have to say, just personally, that I've continued to know Alyssa as during my time as director of the CFA, and she's been a wonderful colleague. She's brilliant, she's charismatic, and she's decent. She's an extremely human, decent human being, and she's just a pleasure to be around. So I'd like to thank Alyssa for being the fabulous individual that you are, and hand the baton back to others. Thank you.
Hello, Alyssa. Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, I cannot come to the meeting, so I was asked to send a little video message instead. So here's my video message of one of the most remarkable meetings I had with Alyssa over the years. And it happened many years ago when I think it was just before Christmas, maybe in one of these Heidelberg-Harvard meetings that we had over the years, when I was sent a specific item by one of the funding agencies a few weeks ago. So I show you the item. Let's see whether I can do that. So here is the item. And I was first puzzled what this might be, but with the help of my kids who went to school at that time, we figured it out quickly. And so then ever since it served as a test for guests, how well they can, recognize shapes and how well they are doing with guessing certain items. So the only one who actually managed to figure out what this actually is with 3 attempts was Alyssa Goodman. So you may ask her. And since then, I'm deeply impressed by Alyssa's scientific rigorosity and by her strong sense to recognize patterns and make connections. So happy birthday, Alyssa. Many greetings from Heidelberg in Baden-Württemberg.
Hi, Alyssa. I truly regret that circumstances dictate that I'm not able to join you and your many friends and colleagues to celebrate your scholarly achievements and contributions to astronomy. I nonetheless extend my congratulations to you on this very special occasion. You know, it doesn't seem that long ago that as a freshly minted PhD, you won the first place poster prize at the Crete 1 Star Formation Conference back in 1990. Since that time, you have been one of the visionary leaders in the field of star formation. At the turn of this century, you organized a complete survey because you recognize the importance of compiling complete and comprehensive databases for molecular clouds and then making them available to the rest of the research community. More recently, you wisely foresaw the critical need to develop tools to mine and visualize large data sets. And you led the development of the powerful GLUE software library, which I'm embarrassed to say I still need to learn, and hopefully that'll happen with your help sometime in the near future. You have mentored many graduate students and postdocs and who have made and are still making important contributions to the field. But perhaps the most impressive thing is that despite being 60 years young, your career is not even reached its pinnacle. Your contributions and impact on astronomy are still in the accelerating growth phase. So, I can't wait for your 70th birthday celebration to see what new and wonderful things you will accomplish by then in this next phase of your career. So let me extend my best wishes for a stimulating and enjoyable conference in New Hampshire.
Hi, Alyssa. I'm so sorry that I can't be there for your meeting this week. It sounds like it's going to be an amazing time. I just wanted to thank you for being such a positive influence in my growth as a researcher over the years. So I first met you in 2004 when I was a young new master's student. I joined the complete team, and you can see I even have a nice little memento from that time still. And so joining that team and coming out to CFA for a team meeting, I think also around 2004, was my first time actually working with international researchers and doing a bigger collaboration project. And I learned quite a lot from that experience. My PhD advisor kept sending me back to CFAs that I could learn as much as I could from you and from Phil and from Charlie. And that was all so amazing. After my PhD, of course, I came back to CFA as a postdoc, and you welcomed me into your group. And it was really just so inspiring watching you have all these big, great ideas for how to improve astronomy for everyone, and watching them actually shaping up into reality and happening. And wow, I don't know how you do it. It's amazing. So I want to say congratulations for everything you've managed to do so far, and I know there's still lots more amazing things to come. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
Hi, where to begin? I've met Alyssa in Cambridge, US. I had to specify the US just in case you're thinking of the original Cambridge. And then I've met her in Zurich and in Munich and in Heidelberg and in Paris and in Strasbourg and in Venice and so on and so forth. Every time I met her, there was something cool and something interesting and something memorable we did together. We sat on the floor to watch a light show and a concert, or we discovered a really cool art museum or a transportation museum, or we discovered a backstreet shop where we would just check out for little things, and or then we sat in a Airbnb in Venice with a Baroque art on the ceiling and discussed about how people lived in just some hundreds years ago, or some maybe even 100 years ago. And these things about Alyssa spending this time, I noticed that we always had really both smaller things and bigger things, insightful conversations as well as everyday things. And Alyssa sometimes she's able to show excitement about both of them. You can say, yeah, okay, a really cool looking tile that she found in Portugal for her kitchen can be super exciting, but also, of course, the existential fundamental discoveries about our universe is equally exciting. And this fact that she's so grounded and she's one of the most important people that I know, but she's not self-important. It is a very important, a very defining characteristic, a personality feature for Alyssa that I really admire. Her relationship with Abby is wonderful. Her relationship to her grad students, to her friends, to her family, to her cats. It's always very genuine, no-nonsense, very warm, and always, in some level, I guess, truthful, and that's amazing. That's very, very nice to see, and it's heartwarming. And that said, well, all of these things put together, I'm really glad that we crossed paths, and I think my life would be a considerable level poorer without having met you. And I think that I'm very glad that we were able to spend some time together. And happy birthday! I think that's where I'm gonna stop and hope that we will do this many, many, many more years to come.
Happy birthday, Alyssa. As we all know, astronomy is about envisioning. It takes a visionary to envision. It goes way back. Eratosthenes, Aristarchus, Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, Newton, Einstein, Margaret Geller, Alyssa Goodman. Alyssa, thank you for threading the distance between research and public display and data immersion closer. You've made that happen. Keep doing what you're doing many more n number of decades into the future. Thank you and happy birthday.
Hi, Alyssa. I'm very sorry for not being in your meeting. Sometimes being parent is not easy for traveling. But anyway, I want to tell you a few words about this celebration. So I want to thank you for receiving me in Boston back 25 years ago, more or less, 24 maybe. I came to Boston because, you know, I was in love with Paola. She had to work with Lee Hartman and Nuria Calvert on accretion disks. And when I realized that Paola had to go to CFA, I decided myself to follow her. And then I spoke to Enrique and I asked him, well, you know, I'm going to Boston, like it or not. Enrique was my advisor at that time. So Enrique talked to you and asked you whether I could make comparisons between simulations and observations, and you agreed. So that's how I came to Boston. But unfortunately, that wasn't the best time. At that moment, you had a new baby. She was born 4 months before. And I know that having a baby takes all your brain. So you don't have time for students that you didn't ask for, that just came to Boston because they want to be there. But anyway, you still support me. The original idea was to work on the spectral correlation function. But you know, it was too much statistic for me. I guess, but this time you already know it. But I wasn't so excited by the spectral correlation function. I was much more excited by your coherent cores. Those were intriguing for me, and also I was excited by the starless cores of Chang-Won Lee. So. Anyway, we worked on spectral correlation function. I met very good friends like Hector Arce and Joao Alves. I also came to observe with Hector to the 5 College Radio Astronomy Observatory. And also you sent me to the 30 meters in Iran, which I really appreciate because, you know, at that moment I was kind of thinking, well, maybe I can make some observations, but, you know, observing in the optical is hard because this is hard for me because you have to spend the whole night awake. But observing in radio astronomy is even worse because you have to keep observing the whole day and night. So I decided to stay as a theoretician. So anyway, during that year, I met very nice and friendly people like Lori Allen, like Maite Beltran, Nuria Huélamo, Paola Caselli, who also was in the Iran telescope observing, Changwon Lee, Phil Myers, of course, James Muserol, Eric Goldbring, Ray J was also around there, Cesar Briceño, Katy Vivas. And, you know, we spent a great time there, even working, but also hanging around. We also had parties, we celebrated birthdays, and we even came to New York City for a demonstration supporting the Puerto Rican independence. So anyway, it was a great time, it was a great year, and at the end, well, we came up with a paper on the spectral correlation function, and I managed to, with all these parties and all this fun, I managed to also finish my PhD thesis. So I really thank you, you support me, you gave me a scholarship, a fellowship, a research assistant working with you, and I really appreciate all your support. So have a great time. I hope the meeting is been interesting. I'm sure it is. And well, say hello to everybody. Cheers.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
This is Di from Xiamen in China. I apologize for missing a big party as I'm in this quarantine hotel. As far as house arrest goes, this is as good as gets. I was fortunate to even get on this plane going through 3 PCRs and 1 antigen. A much bigger fortune of mine was to have the opportunity to work with you in CFA early in my career. That's after I already started to idolize you, reading your meticulous papers as always. And I guess I must have been a bit starstruck when first going to your free lunch gatherings. That's where I learned many astronomy stuff and other sort of remotely astronomy related stories. One motto of you that has stayed with me all these years is to never let technical challenges stop astronomy. That's when I try to combine VLA and Arecibo H1 data. By now, I still cannot accomplish that smoothly or effectively. However, we do have the fast telescope now with better H1 images. I guess $180 million investment does help overcome the technical challenges. And we even measure the Zeeman effect in H1 lines, which I hope is still in your academic purview. You will always have my sincere invitation to visit remote mountains in Guizhou. I do hope that happen sooner rather than later. Have a great birthday party. Happy birthday, Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa. I'm so sorry I can't be there this week to help you celebrate your wonderful career. I have to say we've come a long way since that fateful stormy night out on Kitt Peak, where we had to battle frogs and cows to get to the telescope to take our polarization data. Little did I know that that night and that observing run was the start of a long, adventurous, and a beautiful friendship. You and I have been through a lot, both professionally and personally over the years, and I'm really grateful that I've had you as a valued colleague and, more importantly, as a friend through this time. I'm so very happy for you and all you've accomplished. And I want to give you my heartfelt congratulations, and I hope you enjoy your celebration.